The Prophet ﷺ, he didn't say, "La tufaddiluni," like don't say I'm better than this prophet or that prophet, because even though the prophet he's Imam al-Mursaleen and he has a maqam, there's no benefit in it, and it's just it'll just upset other people and things like that. But the Quran is definitely, we believe, it's the final revelation. It's the only one that's preserved in the original form. There's debate about the Bible. I mean, even the Catholic Bible, the Protestant Bible, they're not the same. They differ on the books that are in it. We know that the Gospels are have different, there's 4 different Gospels. Mark is probably the earliest, then Matthew, then Luke, then John is late. John is very Hellenistic. So whatever the Gospel is, the Injil is in singular in the Quran. It's not Anajil. So the 4 Gospels are not the Injil that Isa alayhi salam came with. I mean, they call it the Q Gospel, the Quell Gospel. And then the Torah, again, we don't know. There's a difference of opinion about tahrif. Is it bil mabani or ma'ani? Is it the interpretations that have changed, or is it the actual physical book? But there's definitely, there's things in the Bible that I don't think we don't accept them. I mean, the denigration of the prophets, like we don't. I mean, I was telling, I had a pastor came visited the other day. And I told him, like, we don't believe that about Dawood alayhi salam. And I told him, I said, you wouldn't do that. Like, you wouldn't send, if you wanted to have a woman and you were a general in an army, you wouldn't send the husband to get killed. I said, Bob, you wouldn't do that. Like, how could a prophet of God do that? Like, just a basic, decent human being would not do that. So to say that a man of God would do that, I mean, that's just not. And we know the Davidic kingdom was divided, so there's actually, there's a belief that there was a lot of anti-Dawood propaganda at the time. I mean, this is, Dawood derangement syndrome. Like this occurs in every time, that people just hate somebody and they tell lies about them and things like that, and then they get in the books and things like that. So these are problems that we don't accept. But the Prophet said, hadithu an bani Israel, like you can relay their things. I mean, one of the modern things of getting rid of all the Israeliyat from the tradition, that was never, the ulama always understood that they were permitted. The Prophet permitted them, but he said, "La tusaddiquhum wa la tukadibuhum." Don't deny it and don't belie it unless it goes against our aqidah. Like if it's clearly unacceptable, then we would say that can't be true. At least the way you're understanding it, it can't be true. But the Quran is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it a status. They're all revelation. And we know that all these different peoples had revelations. So, and the other thing which is really important for Muslims, if we can, is you have to have some portion of the Quran, like a wird of the Quran. And there's a lot of people that do awrad and then they don't do the Quran, which is just, it's backward. Because the awrad, the adhkar al-sabah wal-masa are better at that time than any other dhikr, because the Prophet did do certain dhikrs, but they're not a lot. There are a number of things that were done in the morning, the evening. But the best dhikr is the Quran. Afdal al-adhkar, al-Quran. And even, afdal al-dhikr, la ilaha illallah, the Quran, fa'alam annahu la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah is from the Quran. So the best dhikr is the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ, this is a hadith, I mean, it has some nadar, but it's, min al-fada'il. He was asked what was the best action. He said, al-hal al-murtahil. Like the hal al-murtahil. Halla yahillu, fahuwa halun. It's like to come to a place. So the hal al-murtahil, he was asked, ma al-hal al-murtahil. He said, an yadrab fi awal al-Quran ila akhirihi. فَإِذَا حَلَّ ارْتَحَلَ. You know, so when he finishes the Quran, he starts it again. And that's why when you do the khatam, you always, when you finish with the Mu'awwidhatayn, you go to Fatiha and then the beginning of Baqarah, because that's the hal and murtahil. It's just a continuous thing. And the more you do that, the more benefit you get out of it. I mean, obviously studying the Quran is very important. And أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Like, we should think about the Quran. Tadabbur is very important. But to recite the Quran, just to recite the words, has an impact on you. And even if you're ajami, to recite the Quran and to get into that habit of reciting the Quran, there's great blessing in that. And it will have an effect on your heart. The Quran will definitely have an effect on your heart. And the Quran will reveal itself to you, you know, over time. Like you see things in the Quran. Even if you read the translations, you're going to get benefit from them. I mean, obviously you have to be careful. There's increasingly reasonable commentaries now in English. So there's some good commentaries. I mean, Yusuf Ali has some wonderful notes in there. There's a lot of really beneficial notes in Yusuf Ali's translation, which has kind of been sidelined. It was the main translation for a very long time. Now they first they republished it and got rid of a lot of stuff. I mean, because he was kind of he loved English literature, so he'd quote Shakespeare or he'd quote, yeah.